Now it's time for the 4K 60 back video test, guys, and also a zoom lens cycle. We're gonna be starting from the ultra wide. I am in the beautiful Limassol Cyprus here. Just please enjoy the scenery. And now, guys, I'm gonna go and show you some fancy stuff, so pay attention. I'm gonna switch to the main camera right now. Alright, on your left the S25 Ultra, guys, in the middle the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, now backlight scenario, and on the right the Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max. Okay, let me just give you the spin here. What I'm gonna do right now first is a stabilization test. Let me start running. Alright, and now, guys, I'm gonna start zooming in. I'm gonna start first with 3x on the S25 Ultra, 3x also on the Xiaomi, and 2x on the iPhone 16 Pro, and now 2.9. Alright, so this is circa what we get. Now, guys, I'm gonna go to the 5x. This is the second zoom camera on the S25 Ultra, and 4.3 on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, and 5 optical zoom on the Apple iPhone, and this is circa the quality that we're gonna get. I'm going to slowly pan to the right so that you can see this building here and the structure. And now, guys, we're gonna be invoking the 10x. So 10x on the S25 Ultra, guys. Now I'm going to also go to 10x on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, 10.2, and I'm going to also go and do 10 on the iPhone. 10x zoom now on the S25 Ultra, 10.2 on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, guys, and 10x on the Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max, guys. Now maximum on the iPhone I can only do 15x, 30x on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, and only 15x on the Apple iPhone. Now, guys, I'm gonna go back to the ultra wide on all the phones. Pay attention to the zoom lens cycle. Now what we are going to do is a zoom lens cycle switch. So now from the ultra wide, right, focus on the flux here. I'm going to show you what the S25 Ultra can do. Alright, yeah. So this is from ultra wide to 20x. Now, guys, on the Xiaomi that's not so easy because we have so much zoom here. It's impossible for me to do in one pass, but I can try. So, right, from ultra wide to 20x, okay. Else this is what I can do with one finger. Now back to the ultra wide, and now I'm gonna do the same with the iPhone. So this is the iPhone, very smooth as you can see, but we're only limited to 15x. I'm now back to the second telephoto camera on all phones. So it's 5x for the iPhone and 5x for the Galaxy, and 4.3x on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, guys. Let me start running to see how well it is. The second sensor stabilized. As you can see, it's not so easy, and all these phones are so heavy. Go back to 1x, 1x, and 1x. Let me know, guys, what do you think down below in the comments. Where do you think is the best footage, the best rendition of the sky, and also on the greenery, and also the best natural colors? Now I know it's very hard for you to decide because you're not here, and I see this with my own eyes. But honestly, from what I see on the screen, it seems that all phones are performing nice. Oh, we have a cat friend here. Let's do a 5x on the cat, 4.3 here, and 5 on the iPhone. Okay, this is going to be an interesting scenario, guys. Now let me zoom up 20x on the Galaxy, okay, and I'm going to zoom also on the Xiaomi 30x, and you can see the fur, and 15x, guys. So this is what we can get with all these phones, okay. This is the Galaxy. This thing here is the Xiaomi 15 Ultra and the iPhone. Now I'm back on the secondary cameras, guys. What about 10x? I'm gonna do 10x on the Galaxy. Let's go and also do 10x here on the Xiaomi phone, and I can also dial up to 10x on the iPhone. It's very hard, guys, when I have all these phones on a tripod, but at the end of the day I'm gonna try to show you the cat on all phones. So 10x now everywhere. S25 Ultra, 10x here on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, and 10x on the Apple iPhone, and it looks jittery on the iPhone and shaky. I'm not really sure but at the end of the day you will be the judge, and let me know what you think down below in the comments. And now it's time to check also the front camera. We're starting with 4K 60 on the front camera. Again, a very tough battling scenario. All right, I'm gonna try to showcase this on all the phones. Now also a spin, and it's interesting to see my face looks from yellow to red on these different phones. Where is the most accurate and natural skin tone, guys? This is the main question, and right now of course for me it's very tough to evaluate, but hey, I have a feeling that the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is really doing a great job. My face is a bit red on the iPhone footage and a bit too yellow on the S25 Ultra, and I think right on spot here with the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. But what about this scenario, guys? This is very hard. The sun is behind me, so it's gonna be a problem for the phones to do proper exposure. I think all three are trying to do a good job. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. All right, and now guys, let's start running to test the front camera stabilization. Is this a good idea with three phones? I don't think so, but I have to do it. All right, now one more spin again. I'm in the beautiful Limassol, Cyprus. If you've never been here, guys, if you have the chance to travel to Cyprus, you will not regret. It's really very nice island with a lot of history, nice food, nice people, nice weather, yeah, and also very good for camera and photo testing. Okay guys, now let's turn over to the back camera. This is now 4K 30 FPS on purpose, trying to capture a bit more of that natural motion blur. Now I don't have the ND filter, I cannot go and use the 180-degree rule and correct my shutter speed to be double the FPS. But nevertheless guys, I wanted to also test the 4K 30 video. The only one phone that can switch between the back camera and the front camera while I'm filming is still the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. I cannot do this in 4K 60 on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra as well as on the Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max. Alright, and now it's time to find some nice spots for you to see the nice movement of water. And guys, you let me know what you think down below in the comments. Give you that spin. And now it's time for you to check that hopefully natural movement of water. Alright, in 4K 30 FPS. Hopefully very beautiful on your display or monitor. Alright, and now it's time to check the night video on all three phones. So on your left, the S25 Ultra. In the middle, guys, the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, and on the right, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's 4K 60 FPS, all of them. All right, now let's see what is gonna happen as I'm giving you this little tour. I'm gonna go now in a park. It's gonna be very dark, so let's try to see which of them phones is able to bring more light. 4K 60, then we're gonna change to 4K 30. And we're gonna see what happens. Now, it's very obvious that the iPhone 16 Pro Max, it's not so realistic, although of course very bright. S25 Ultra, a bit on the dark side. Xiaomi 15 Ultra, not so sure, somewhere in the middle. But you guys, let me know down below what do you think. And sadly, I can turn to the back camera only with the S25 Ultra. I'm not able to switch to the back camera on the iPhone and on the Xiaomi, which is a bummer, guys. Being Pro Max and Ultra phones, I would expect this to work. A bit more light here. All right, and I'm gonna start running to test the stabilization. All right, I told you, I am going to enter now the park. I like this area because it's dark, but we do have also light, so it's going to be very good to test the phones here. And now the light is illuminating my face. It's a very bright light here. Okay, and now let's turn to the back camera and see what happens. 4K 60 FPS footage again. Okay, here, very bright source of light. Now I'm slowly entering the park, where you can see that, yes, it's getting really, really dark. But this is what the night video is for, right? There are some specific modes on these phones. There is a night video on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, but it doesn't shoot in 60 FPS. I'm gonna show this as well. All right, lens flare handling. Okay, let me just do a turn here. Let me start running to test also the stabilization. And now I'm going to turn over to 4K 30 FPS and see if there is going to be a difference. This is now 4K 30. Now the question is this night and day difference, guys? You let me know down below in the comments. I'm gonna start running with this as well to test the stabilization. Alright, let's check the greenery here. And let's do one walk in the park. We are looking for smoothness of the video. We are also looking for that natural night video, right? Start running it again. And now I want to show you the Xiaomi 15 Ultra night video. So the night video on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra can shoot 4K, but it's limited to 24 FPS. I'm doing 4K 30 on all the other phones. And I'm gonna go here in a very dark area. I think the S25 Ultra is not able to capture much. The iPhone, a bit better, I guess, but still. Here, now I'm gonna go into a very dark area where the artificial light is not able to pierce through. So let's see what happens now, guys. This thing here is already very dark. Well, I check a tree here. Okay, yeah, surprisingly, the iPhone's footage. You can see so many things. I'm not even sure where I'm walking right now. And the light is shining directly to my face. Well, let's check some more greenery. Okay. And this is the night video, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Now let's review some photos. And we're going to be starting with the main camera. On your left, the Galaxy S25 Ultra, and in the center, the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. On your right, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Now, what do we notice here, guys? See, the S25 Ultra was able to also capture the details behind the bars here. And it's not so great on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, a bit better on the iPhone. And it seems that the S25 Ultra actually focused on the background rather here on the statue. But even with this, we can see just more detail on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. What happens here at the edges? It's about the same. Another shot by the main camera, and overall it seems that all phones did a good job. So again, we'll start to zoom in to see the differences. Now, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is putting a bit more light on the face, overexposing a bit so that you can see a bit more of the face. And the S25 Ultra here is losing some of the detail. You can see a lot of noise specifically here in that section. And the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is somehow very smoothened out, but honestly I do believe that it still be able to produce the better shot. Let's see what happens here, guys. If I am to zoom in further, we can clearly see here a lot of noise on the S25 Ultra. The iPhone 16 Pro Max a tiny bit better here, but the Xiaomi 15 Ultra still in the show. Just take a look at this thing here, and this and this. And another shot like this time with a crop, where the S25 Ultra was able to provide a bit better results compared to the previous shot, but overall, take a look at the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. Just nailed it. We can clearly see all the details here. Still a lot of noise and lots of details on both the S25 Ultra and the iPhone, and the Xiaomi 15 Ultra was able to produce a very clean image. Just look at the face, all right? The iPhone face is a bit smudgy, no focus, and totally losing the detail. The S25 Ultra doing a better job versus the iPhone, but was not able to properly expose all these things here, and the Xiaomi 15 Ultra just shines in this shot. Yet another shot from the main camera. The biggest difference here is the white balance, and somehow you can see that we have a kind of a green tint on the iPhone. Not here, but I think overall the S25 Ultra, I do believe, is more realistic here. I think this is the best shot, although we have some yellow tints here on the rocks, and the Xiaomi 15 Ultra a bit more on the colder side of the white balance. If we are to zoom in here on the pebbles, in fact, all of them are doing pretty good. And another shot here with a lot of sand in the session. Take a look here, guys. The sand on the S25 Ultra and the sand on the iPhone 16 Pro Max completely gone here, right? Although it's really over sharpened, but still it feels better. We can clearly see things that are not available on the other two phones. And also the structure, guys. You can clearly see the lines of the wood, and that's not the case with the S25 Ultra on the left, and also with the iPhone 16 Pro Max on the right. And another shot from the main camera where we can clearly see the difference in the white balance. Again, this thing on the right from the iPhone has a greenish tint. The S25 Ultra a bit more on the yellow side, and it seems that the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is a bit more natural here, but overall it seems that all photos are good. Now this is an interesting shot, again with high dynamic range, as we have sun and shadows almost everywhere. And see what the Xiaomi 15 did here, guys. It clearly overexposed the shot, so completely blown out sky. You are just seeing a white spot, and all the highlights are really overexposed in the whole frame. The S25 Ultra did a good job, I think even a better job compared to the iPhone. Yet another shot that is very comparable. Those are some of the best camera phones on the market, if not the best. And again, here we have this greenish tint on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and a very comparable shot from the S25 Ultra and the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, although the Xiaomi 15 Ultra seems to be a bit on the colder side. But guys, the famous sky bending with Samsung. See here, guys, these lines very awful. They're not natural at all. So Xiaomi 15 Ultra, tiny bit better here, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max also better than the S25 Ultra in the sky. Let's check some portraits on all three phones. In general, I am happy with the result. Now, the S25 Ultra is really doing well with portraits. You can see the cutouts here, the individual hair strands. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, wasn't able to deal with this, but take a look on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. The separation between the individual hair strands and the background is just absolutely crazy. And this is just the start. When we start to zoom in, we can see how soft the S25 Ultra image is, also the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and we can see how sharp and how natural the face of the boy is displayed on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, and also with the t-shirt, the fabric's just really much better. Another portrait shot that I do believe is also very comparable, although the Xiaomi 15 Ultra produced this yellow thin here, so I would go with the S25 Ultra or with the iPhone shot, but the iPhone shot is somehow washed out. So the Xiaomi 15 Ultra tried to expose, I guess, the face, adding this unnatural color, and the S25 Ultra here is able to produce a better result. This is a portrait shot from the 5X cameras, and you can see Galaxy S25 Ultra is actually able to do some stunning portraits. And another portrait shot, I do believe this is the 5X. Now pay attention, guys, to the eyelashes here. Like, you can clearly see the skin tone, just so nice, so organic, so natural. This is not the case with the iPhone 16 Pro Max and also with the S25 Ultra. So here the Xiaomi 15 Ultra really nailed the portrait. Yet another shot from the main camera, just to show you how close they are, even when we go to the left, and the only difference here is the white balance rendition. So overall, good shots here from all three phones. This thing here is an attempt for a macro shot using the ultra wide cameras, and you can tell by the aperture f1.9, 2.8 and 2.2. And yeah, the S25 Ultra is not looking great. Xiaomi 15 Ultra, I would say better and a bit comparable with the result on the iPhone. But if we have to really pixel peep and zoom in, you can clearly see some more details on the 15 Ultra versus here and here. Some city photos with the main camera where again all three phones are performing quite nice. Even when we start to zoom in, we can see no big degradation, and it's circa the same on the three phones. Really happy with the results. Even here where we don't have enough light, the iPhone 16 Pro Max always going for that extra overexposing, and the S25 Ultra just fine. The Xiaomi 15 Ultra is also fine. And another example where you can see the iPhone 16 Pro Max just tries to illuminate everything, but this is not the reality, guys. This thing here far more real, and the S25 Ultra as well. Overall then pretty comparable images. And another image from the main camera that can just show how close those phones can be sometimes. Just look at this. And here as well, a very comparable image. Even when we are to zoom in, we can clearly see almost the same quality on all the phones. And another city photo where the main difference is just the rendition, the white balance. Now, in this case, the Xiaomi 15 Ultra introduced a bit of a yellow tint because everybody knows how red is this red year. So the S25 Ultra and the iPhone produced the better image in terms of color rendition in this frame. And another shot that looks quite the same, even with this overexposed sky. I guess it's kind of normal, but the only difference here, guys, pay attention to what happens when I start to zoom in. We can clearly see the rust on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, this Coca-Cola dispenser, and that's not the case here on the S25 Ultra and here. But if we are not to pixel peep, I would say a very comparable shot, also rendered very much in the same way. Now this is an interesting shot. In this situation, the S25 Ultra was not able to properly expose and show us the sky that we can see here, and the iPhone 16 still a bit better than the S25 Ultra, but still not as good as the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. Now guys, just know that you can reproduce this result on either phones, right? It really depends on how you take the shot and how the processing is going to work. But what I'm saying is that there is no guarantee that next time the Xiaomi 15 Ultra or the iPhone will overexpose this shot. But in this particular example, the Xiaomi 15 Ultra absolutely taking the lead. This is a shot from the 5x camera, guys, with less light. And now I think it's getting interesting because take a look at this thing here. You can clearly see the texture of the stone and the artist's work. And that's not the case with the S25 Ultra, and even a bit worse, I guess, on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So when we start to remove the light out of the equation and specifically shoot inside, I would say the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is able to take more pronounced, more detailed, and just simply better shots. But it would not have been interesting if the tables did not turn. So in this case, you can see the Xiaomi 15 Ultra struggled to properly expose this very bright light here, and the S25 Ultra was able to control it, as well also the iPhone, but the S25 Ultra was able here to nail this shot. And this is why it's so hard to compare really great phones like this. Sometimes one of the phones can take a leap, sometimes the other. So more shots from the main camera to test this dynamic contrast from the open sunny area here and the complete darkness inside. And you can see again how the iPhone 16 Pro Max is just trying to give you a brighter story, right? It doesn't really give the reality, right? It makes this thing to pop out, and the S25 Ultra not as much, but the Xiaomi 15 Ultra really spot on, right? Like completely dark here, everything here pretty well exposed. So in this particular situation, I think that the Xiaomi 15 Ultra delivered a more realistic shot. And now let's pay some attention to the zoom camera. Everybody knows that the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is equipped with the Samsung HV9. It's a 200 megapixel zoom camera starting at 4.3x. Actually, I think it starts from 4.0 or 4.1. Anyway, this is just the baseline, guys. I'm going to be zooming in on this object. This is just a shoot from the main camera for you to have a baseline. This is now a 70mm shot, and we're already using 5x here, but we're using the main camera on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, and we're using the 3x camera on the S25 Ultra. And I just wanted to show this for context, because when you have a big sensor like this, the Sony LIT 1-inch sensor, even crops from the main camera can be great. We are here already at 233 millimeters, guys. It's something like 10x, and you can see the Xiaomi 14 Ultra absolutely killing it with the level of detail, very much softened on the iPhone and softened on the S25 Ultra, but we have texture, we can still see the painting on the wall. So definitely here the Xiaomi 14 Ultra is taking the lead. Also, just pay attention to the face, guys, right? We can clearly see different colors. That's not the case on the S25 Ultra and on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. This is almost 700 millimeters, guys, and you can see that it's getting tougher for all our three phones. Here, I have to say, the AI starts to kick in and starts to just process some things. You can see, there is this unnatural blur here and a bit of sharpness there, but overall, the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is trying to recognize what you're shooting at and trying to improve the frame. This doesn't happen on the iPhone. You can see the image isn't that great, and the S25 Ultra still is trying to maintain decent quality. And we are about 1400 millimeters, so apparently the iPhone 16 Pro Max cannot zoom that much. And guys, the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, wow, you can still try to see the context here, you can try to see the details. And I know it's not so usable, but we're just doing it for the sake of the comparison. So definitely a better zoom camera, also with AI upscaling. Yeah, you can see also the eyes and all the lines. And we're here at almost 2800 millimeters. This is the 120 on the right for the Xiaomi and the 100 on the S25 Ultra. And both, of course, are bad, but still the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is taking the lead, just with the better zoom sensor and also with the AI upscaling. Now again, a main shot from the main camera to set the baseline. Pay attention, guys, we're going to be focusing and zooming in on this statue here. So this is a 100mm shot on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, so it's like 4 point something here, guys, 5x on the S25 Ultra, and also the 5x camera from the iPhone, and you can already see what the iPhone is doing. Really so soft, and yeah, it's just ugly. The S25 Ultra a bit better than the 5x on the iPhone, but take a look at the 3. I don't think that, it's just comparable. So the Xiaomi 15 Ultra definitely taking the lead here. And this is the 10x shot. Again, we cannot really expect miracles from all the other phones. HP9 is just so good, guys. But still, we have to see it with our own eyes. And this thing here is almost 700mm. It's the max that the 16 Pro Max can do, and it's awful. S25 Ultra, I would say a bit better. Xiaomi 15 Ultra, I guess, with zoom and AI upscale, delivering a better result compared to the other two phones. Almost 1400 millimeters, Xiaomi 15 Ultra on the right, S25 Ultra on the left. Again, both aren't great, but this one here on the right is better. And this is the maximum zoom level here, 120x, which equals to almost 2800 millimeters, and 100x on the S25 Ultra. And this is the quality that you will get. Now let's check some colors. Main camera everywhere. Honestly, great photos from all the phones. When you start to zoom in, you can see a bit more of the juice and color popping up on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. And it's weird because usually Samsung were taking the lead with very much colorful photos, but I don't think that Xiaomi 15 Ultra are stepping back. By the way, I am using the Leica Vibrant on all the photos. And the photo here on the 16 Pro Max looks a bit of a washed out and still a bit of noisy. But overall, if we are not to zoom in, not bad from all of them. Let's take another look at some portraits. The iPhone 16 Pro Max just not doing a great job with the separation. You can see some artifacts here and some unnatural blur, and also around the ears. S25 Ultra, kind of bit better. The skin color here, very similar to the skin color on the 16 Pro Max, but all I do believe that Xiaomi 15 Ultra just stole that shot. Some more portrait examples in daylight, but not with sun. And you can see too soften on the S25 Ultra, a bit better on the 16 Pro Max, but take a look at the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. I think it's better, guys. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And another portrait shot now facing against the sun. You know, my face here on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra with a yellow tint, a bit red with the iPhone, and I'm thinking the S25 Ultra probably did a better color rendition, but the shot is not so crisp compared to the shot on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. And now a zoom portrait with the 5x cameras everywhere, and you can see clearly the sun illuminating my face. My face is yellow. This is how the Xiaomi 15 Ultra decided to process it, and in this scenario I do believe the skin color is the same between the S25 Ultra and the 16 Pro Max. So now let's start to take less and less light in the photos. This is a 5x photo from all the phones. The Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max is a failure here. The Galaxy S25 Ultra is not that bad, but it's too soft and no contrast overall, and the Xiaomi 15 Ultra was just able to produce the better shot, according to myself. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, by the way. Here a shot from the main camera. It's already something like Twilight, right? The sun has set, so now we don't have that bright sun on our photos. I do believe that all phones handled this in the same way. Still here again, the Apple iPhone trying to make this shot appearing more bright than it is. Anyway, anything was shot in the auto camera. Another Twilight shot, and you can see we have now completely different skies. Here we see, I guess, too blue, too saturated. Here probably a bit better, and here too washed out. So in this shot I will go with the S25 Ultra on the left. And some more Twilight examples. So the Xiaomi 15 Ultra was able to expose the shot better here, but it introduced some glow. The S25 Ultra a bit overexposing the lamp here, and I do believe that the 16 Pro Max did actually better. And another shot from the main camera with artificial lighting this time. This is why a lot of the shots are yellow, and actually the iPhone is trying to get that cold light balance, but the S25 Ultra and the Xiaomi 15 Ultra produced, I guess, a more natural shot, as really the street lamps are actually very yellow. Now let's explore some night photos. Again, we do have the main camera, and by the way, a very comparable shot on all three phones. Now the Xiaomi 15 Ultra was introduced with the term night god, so it's about time to see really, is it going to beat the S25 Ultra or the Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max in night shots? I mean, also the biggest sense on the main camera. A night photo with some artificial lighting. Now to understand the differences, we probably will need to zoom in and pixel peep, and I'll take a look, guys. We can clearly see the lines here on the S25 Ultra, not so much, and completely gone on the Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max. And also this thing here looks more like oil painting on the iPhone. It's not the best also on the Xiaomi, probably circa the same with the S25 Ultra, but overall I think that the Xiaomi 15 Ultra shot was just a bit better with how it handled here this area, because see, you can clearly see the separation of the highlights and the shadows, and it looks really very natural. A very standard night shot here, but then again the iPhone is trying to just brighten up things, and I don't really like it. And also what happens here on the corners, guys, oh, what the hell is this? It's not looking great. The S25 Ultra a tiny bit better, and so is the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. Now that's a tough one because it's dark, but we have very strong artificial lighting, so the 16 Pro Max was not able to expose the bright light so nice. S25 Ultra, a better job, but the Xiaomi 15 Ultra nailed it. Also, just take a look here, guys, right? It's a mess on the S25 Ultra, but the Xiaomi 15 Ultra was still able to deliver a more consistent result. And again, the same situation with the bright light. Honestly, this shot is, I believe, comparable, although the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is able to show a bit more of the grid here. This thing is missing here, and it's also missing here. But here you can see it. And another shot with the main camera and some bright lights. Here the S25 Ultra struggled to expose the lights correctly by overexposing them, and there is some kind of a yellowish tint on the iPhone. But overall, I do believe that what we see on the center is quite the same, but this is not the case when we are to just explore what happens beyond. Although here, not so visible, here a bit better, and too bright on the iPhone. When we start to use some of the zoom cameras, we can clearly see that the 16 Pro Max shot is collapsing in terms of details. Honestly, S25 Ultra is just almost on par with the shot from the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. Now this is a shot with the 5x camera on all three phones, and it pretty much shows the same result. S25 Ultra second place. First place, I do believe the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. Just take a look at the tree here, and sadly the 16 Pro Max just falling apart. And this is the 10x shot. The S25 Ultra actually not that bad compared to the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, so I was really impressed. Sadly, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is not doing a great job with 10x. Another nice shot with the back camera, but here I do have enough of light, and when there is enough light, actually the iPhone will be quite on par with the others. But take a look here and here, guys, right? So definitely missing on the S25 Ultra, also not great on the 16 Pro Max, and we can clearly see what happens with the tree on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. And another nice shot with some artificial lighting. And what is the iPhone doing? Ooh, this is not looking great. And in case you wonder, this is a night selfie with artificial light. I would say blurry here, and also blurry here, but still the Xiaomi 15 Ultra tiny bit better than the others. And another zoom photo here. Honestly, the S25 Ultra is almost like the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, and only when you really zoom in you can see there is probably a bit more noise versus the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. And yeah, the iPhone photo is simply not that good, guys. This was my photo and video comparison between the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, the Galaxy S25 Ultra, and the Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max. So I would really be interested to see what do you think about the results. Let me know down below in the comments, guys, and don't forget to check my dedicated Xiaomi 15 Ultra camera review. There are some very nice samples there. Stay safe, VST over, and bye.